Alex, you said after the last match that this is going to be one of the most difficult selection meetings for you as a DOR, and that you may even ask Mark how the hell he sorted it out with all the stars you had at Saracens. How difficult has it been to try and work out your starting 15?
Yeah, tough, sleepless nights over the weekend, although maybe not as sleepless as Exeter's and Bristol's, given the drama that unfolded Saturday, Sunday. Mine was more in consideration for those boys who've worked really hard, and a lot of them who've made a statement to get selected, put themselves forward, and there's probably 5 or 6 or 7 that could do a job. But through maybe a difference of opinion from mine and the rest of the coaches to theirs, haven't made the cut. So it's been a really difficult weekend. Not only that, tactically, how do you play this game? Tactically, going into it, we've still got a semi-final and hopefully a final to follow. So, do you go full bore? Do you rest a few? Who knows, boys? I'm not telling you.
One thing was obvious from the Northampton game is they went full bore first half into the breakdown,
Yeah.
an area you guys are particularly good at. Were you intrigued at how much success they got?
Yeah, I guess so. It's important in a game, the usual game, the traditional game of attrition that you have to play against Exeter, multi-phase attack, multi-phase defence, that to some degree you've just got to take the ball off them, or they'll keep it for 20 phases and keep working their way down the field. So I think the tactic with 15 men, or that first half tactic that Northampton had, was a very effective one, as the score suggested, 18-0.
Just finally for me, has there been a Bock lift in that the 5 who got picked must be absolutely flying, and you've got a couple there who are close who haven't been picked? Has that been an aspect of this you've just had to deal with?
It's always something that we praise, reinforce. That was the first thing that we showed. Played the South African national anthem Monday morning and showed a few clips of them running around and doing the do. Along with Ewan Ashman, who's got selected for the Scotland squad, and hopefully a few more for the England squad. But it then becomes, secondary to the job we've got to do this weekend.
Great, thanks.
Cheers, Chris.
You've kind of touched on the selection dilemma, if you like, of this weekend. How hard is it, as a guy who, I can't imagine you do anything in life where you don't want to win, but then to turn it around and be pragmatic? Are you almost fighting your own natural instincts this weekend? Because surely you want to go down there and make a statement and say, we can come to Exeter and win. But in terms of the long-term goal, how do you approach that?
Taking counsel, understanding what's needed for the team, for the performances over the next 3 weeks, whether it's form, momentum, or freshness. They're the 3 kind of factors that influence selection. Then taking counsel from the likes of Mark McCall, from the other coaches, and also the players as well. So I don't think there's any man who's a selection island out there, and if you are, you're a genius. I think it's important to take in all the information you can and then make a considered judgment on what needs to be done for the best for the team, and taking, to some degree, unless it's an injury risk, taking the individual player, not welfare, but the individual player interests, putting them to a side at this point in the season.
We talk about momentum so much in sport. If you were to rotate and the winning run would come to an end, would that be a concern going forward, or do you feel that the squad has the ability to just pick up where they left off?
We've never had a winning run, have we, up here for the last few years? Six is a lot, but it's still not, I guess, in some of my experiences, as long a stretch as other organisations. It'll be the truer test of the culture, I think, if the worst does happen and we don't win. But then whatever the selection is, we've got other people that we can select for the week after, as we have a lot of strength and depth. And if we stick with the same team, we've got 23 men with a point to prove. I don't see it as there being any negatives coming out of whatever the result is against this Exeter team.
What do you see as the key to doing well against Exeter then?
There's probably 3 areas. There's the set piece challenge, which is always a massive challenge against Exeter. You saw that last week. I think there was 5 scrums and there was 5 penalties. Everyone ended in a penalty, and they got, I think, 3 on their own ball and 1 against them. So there's that. There's the maul on the back of that, and the delivery, but the maul so closer to the line. They were the team that coined that, innovated the quick tap and the 5-metre pick and go, which is an extension of the maul, if you will. So there's the maul and that 5-metre attack. That's one area, if I can group that together. Secondly, there's this ability to keep the ball for large passages of play. And within that, then they've got some really good people in their outside channels, O'Flaherty and Slade. They're probably the best team, I think, at attacking that 13-15 channel from set piece and in phase. So there's a few things to nullify there, isn't there? I think I've said 3 things. I've talked about 3 things there. More recently, in latter games, they've kicked more. Second half against Bristol, second half against London Irish, and they've used the best defence in the league, which it is in terms of tries conceded. Not that we're that happy about that. We're not too far behind them, but they are the best. They've used that defence as a weapon on the back of the kick chase, and they've kicked higher up the field. So I've said it all there. They've got the ability to play in a variety of ways. It starts up front. Can you match them for that energy, that attritional energy? Can you win that attritional battle if they do play multi-phase? And then ultimately you need to play it in the right areas. So that's controlling field position through the kicking game. Whether they're kicking or running, are we able to play in the right areas so they don't have that opportunity to score? 58% of the tries have originated from in opposition 22. So you've got to keep them out of that area.